Good morning, students. Our fifth chapter name is Ocean Currents. Today we are going to learn about this second sem syllabus, and in this syllabus first chapter name is Ocean Currents. Here given, let's recall, when does any material flow, what happens exactly when it is flow, which anomalies in the material is responsible for the initiation of the flow. Try material required a large metal tray, water, plastic sequence, spirit lamp, etc. This activity doing in your science lab. Keep the large metal tray on a stand. You keep the one metal tray on the stand. Fill it with water. After water becoming still, leave the sequence in the seam in them. After some time, the sequence will start floating in the water and become still too. That means here given a large metal tray on stand, fill it with water. This tray fill with the water. After the water becoming still, leave sequence in them. After some time, the sequence will start floating in the water and becoming still too. Observe all these things. After some time, light the spirit lamp and place below one corner of the tray. Observe with the happen. See 5.1. That means after some time the spirit was start, or the light the spirit of lamp was starting, and observe this experiment. On the basis of your observation, discuss in the class and put forth your opinions regarding the experiment. Consider the following questions as the same. That means after the completion of this experiment, you observe your opinions about the experiment. This question and observation write in your notebook. That means geographical explanation. It will occurs you that as the temperature of water increase, the plastic sequence move from one place to another. आपण गोळे म्हणतो की नाही, त्या ह्याचे प्लास्टिकचे सिक्वेन्सचे it will occurs you as temperature of the water increases, the plastic sequence move from one place to another. As the temperature rises, the density of water decreases and it is become lighter, and therefore the water having lower temperature which heavier replace the water with the higher temperatures. After some time, the sequence start moving in a circular motion. There is a movement of this sequence because of the flow of the water. It will occurs you find that temperature of water is increasing. That means at that time the temperature of water increases, the plastic sequence move from one place to another place. That means at that time the temperature increase होतं, त्यावेळेला ते काय होतात, ते प्लास्टिक सिक्वेन्स काय होतात, वन प्लेस टू अनदर प्लेसला मूव्ह होतात. ॲज द टेम्परेचर राईज, द डेन्सिटी ऑफ वॉटर डिक्रीजेस. ॲट दॅट टाइम द टेम्परेचर काय झालं, इन्क्रीज झालं, त्याला डेन्सिटी ऑफ वॉटर काय होते, ऑटोमॅटिकली डिक्रीज होते अँड इट बिकम लायटर. ॲट दॅट टाइम दिस प्लास्टिक सिक्वेन्स काय होतात, लायटर होतात, वेट कमी होतं त्यांचं. अँड देअर फॉर द वॉटर हॅव्हिंग लोअर टेम्परेचर इट इज हेवियर. दॅट मीन्स द टेम्परेचर लोअर असतं, त्यावेळेला ते हेवियर्स असतात. replace the water with the higher temperatures. That means at that time they is lighter, they move one place to another place. After some time this sequence start moving in a circular motion, and they at that time this plastic sequence moving in circular motion. Their movement of this sequence because of flow of the water. What is the responsible reason for this movement of this sequence because of the flow of the water? You can tell a very large strange incident occurring in the Pacific Ocean in the year 1992. A cargo ship sailed toward America from Hong Kong. While traveling through the Pacific Ocean near the Hawaii Islands, a container full of toys fell into ocean and broke. Around the 28,000 rubber toys started floating on the oceans. These incidents occurs on 10th January 1992. Now strange things happen after around 10 months. On 16th November 1992, some of these toys reached the coast of Alaska. Some of them crossed the Bering Strait and moved up to the Arctic Ocean by the year 2000. Some of them also floated the Atlantic Ocean from the Arctic. Some of them reached the eastern coast of America in 2003, and some of the toys had even reached the European coast by 2007. From the Hawaii Islands, some toys took the route of the Australia, seen figure 5.2 and 5.3. That means here January 1992. Here Hong Kong. Here given the, that means the journey of this toys, that means here January 1990 to 95, November 1992, then here 23 and 2003 and 2000, here 7. Here given the figure of the toy duck. That means a very strange incident occurs in the Pacific Ocean. Pacific Ocean मध्ये 1992 like incident घडली. कार्गो शिप sailed toward the America from Hong Kong. एक शिप होती ती कुठून फ्रॉम हाँगकाँग टू अमेरिका सेल्ड करत होती किंवा ट्रॅव्हलिंग करत होती. नियर द हवाई आयलँड कंटेनर ऑफ फुल टॉयज फेल्स इन टू द ओशन अँड ब्रोक. दॅट मीन्स फुल कंटेनर ऑफ टॉयज falls into the ocean, and at that time around 28,000 rubber toys started floating on the ocean. आणि 28,000 टॉयज काय झाले होते, फ्लोटिंग झाले होते ओशन वरती. दिस इन्सिडेंट occurs in 10 January. What was when this incident occurred, then when did this incident occurred? 10 January 1992. Now strange this happened after around 10 months. That means 10 monthला ते कुठं म्हणजे 16 November 1992 ला same this toy reached on the coast of Alaska, and this same of this crossed Bering Strait move up to the Arctic Oceans by 2000 year. 2000 ला ते Arctic Ocean then also floated Atlantic Ocean मध्ये Atlantic Ocean ला सुद्धा पोहोचले. देन सम ऑफ दिस रिच्ड ईस्टर्न कोस्ट ऑफ अमेरिकन, काही त्यातले ईस्टर्न कोस्ट ऑफ अमेरिकेला 2003 ला पोहोचले. सम ऑफ द टॉयज हॅड इवन रिच्ड युरोपियन कोस्ट बाय 2007, त्यातले काही 2007 ला युरोपियन कोस्टला सुद्धा पोहोचले. फ्रॉम हवाई आयलँड्स, दॅट मीन्स दिस इन्सिडेंट्स टेक्स प्लेस इन द हवाई आयलँड. सम टॉयज टेक्स प्लेस रूट ऑफ द ऑस्ट्रेलियन, त्यातले काही ऑस्ट्रेलियाला सुद्धा काय झाले, रिच्ड झालेले होते. देन व्हाय डिड दिस toes travel in this way? You given this answer of this question, you can give this answer of this question. Why did the toys or travel in this way? Here given the geographical explanation. The ocean water can be divided into two parts based the depth, surface water and deep water. That means the ocean water is divided into two parts. First is the depth, surface, and the deep water. The upper layer extend up to the 500 meters from the sea level. That means upper level of the sea is the how many depth, the up to 500 meters from the sea level. Below 500 meter depth, and the up to the 500, that means the below 500 in depth. This region from the sea level to depth of 500 meter is considered to be the surface water. That means 500 meter is considered to be the surface water. Depth of the 500 is considered to be the surface of water. sunlight can reach till this depth. That means at that time, that means in a depth of the 500 meter, there where sunlight can reach the till easily. Its movement in this layer occurs mainly due to difference in temperature and salinity. On this surface, there where the movement of the layers occurs mainly dependent on the different temperature and the density, salinity. The planetary winds give speed to this ocean current. At that time, these planetary winds give this speed to the oceanic current. Here given the horizontal surface or the ocean currents. The flow of the surface ocean moves only 10% of the oceanic water. The surface flow consider up to 500 meters of the depth. The discharge of water in ocean is measured in Swerdrup units. It is equivalent to 1 million cubic meters second discharge. The horizontal flow of ocean occurs as a warm, cold current. This current flow from equator to the poles and from the poles to equator. These currents are pushed to long distance by the planetary winds. As a result, the ocean's water flow from equator to both poles and vice versa. We have studied the map given figure 5.4 earlier. Study map again and answer the following questions. That means here given the flow of the surface of the ocean moves only 10% oceanic water. That means the flow of the surface is ocean moves only 10% on the 10% on the oceanic water. The surface flow is considered up to the oceanic flow is considered to be the 500 meters in depth. This discharge of water in the ocean is measured in Swerdrup meter. The discharge of water is measured in the which unit? Swerdrup unit. The equivalent, it is equivalent to the 1 million cube second discharge. That means it is equivalent to the 1 million cube meters second discharge. The horizontal flow of ocean water occurs warm and cold current. That means horizontal flow of oceans is water is as a warm and cold current. They occurs in a warm and cold current. These currents flow from the equator to the pole and from the pole to the equator. That means these currents flow from equator to pole and pole to equator. This current are pushed the long distance by the planetary wind. That means this current pushed by the with help of the planetary winds. As the result, the ocean water flow from equator to both sides. That means as a result, the ocean water flows from equator to both pole and vice versa. That means they also pole to equator. You studied map and answer the questions of the following. What are the major type of oceanic currents? Here given the map ocean current. Thank you.